Hello and welcome to one of the best races I've ever had the pleasure of taking part in, featuring Indycar legend Will Power, and we're going to go toe to toe, scrap for scrap, wheel to wheel until the very last corner of this race, all the way down for this race victory. It's pretty much going to be absolute action non-stop. Was able to pick up P2 in qualifying, with Will pipping us to pole position, and as you can see we're already starting to break away from P3, P4 and P5 in this Canadian F3 race on the Iracing service. Coming through, filtering into the final sector of the first lap. You can see this beautiful camera angle, and already onto the back straight. We're 4 tenths behind, 3 tenths behind, and already gapping upwards of 1 second to P3. So at the moment, it's looking like to be a 2-horse race. But that can change at any moment. Any mistake, any error can bring multiple cars in contention for this race win here today. As you can see now, finishing all the way up on lap 2, coming into the chicane, making Will go defensive. We're going to look around his outside, brake early, look for that perfect exit from the chicane, all over the back of his rear wing, right in the slipstream, forcing him defensive. He's covering inside line, which means we have to go all the way around the outside. We're going to commit late on the brakes. As you can see, locking up the rear slightly, but we're hanging the car around the outside, getting the car slowed down for the apex as we come towards the exit of corner 2, and Will is now on an outside line, and we're going to hold the inside defensive line. Naturally though, that allows Will to pick up a beautiful exit in comparison to us, and we're going to have to go slightly defensive as we're ending the first sector, just holding our line, making sure we don't give him the opportunity to send it up the inside and cost us time, position, and equally bring P3 of Thomas into the slipstream battle as well. What we're going to do though is play a bit tactical. We let him go up the inside here, knowing that as long as we're under 3 tenths behind going on to the main back straight, we've got a fantastic opportunity to overtake him back with the slipstream. We might not even need the slipstream though. We're going to go around the outside of the hairpin, but we think better of that and looking for the switch back. And Will covers it off very expertly, I have to say. Parks it on the apex, gets a beautiful exit, and that's going to allow us to have a slipstream drag race battle down into the final chicane here at Canada, weaving this way and that, trying to find a gap on the inside. He covers it. We're almost wheel banging down the straight, and we're just going to go clean around his outside in the chicane, hold our line, and that actually costs Will quite a lot of momentum, and Thomas is able to pick up the scraps and move up into P2 in this race. And that's what I was alluding to earlier. If you're not careful, you might get picked off by another car. This field in iRacing is always so competitive here in Top Split. But Will was able to get back past Thomas very rapidly indeed, and we was able to build the gap to 1.2 seconds. And as you're going to see over these next series of laps, ending lap 6, starting lap 7, it's 0.9 of a second now as we go across the line. So he was able to gain a few tenths of us that time. 0.7 coming across the line starting lap 8, but now this is going to get super competitive. 0.7 again starting lap 9, and as we're going to be going on into lap 10, you can see now he has gotten the slipstream, and he is only 4 tenths away, and now the battle is back on. Lap 11 out of 18 laps here, finishing up lap 11. He's all over the back of us, and we have gapped P3 by 3.6 seconds, showing how hard we're pushing each other here in Canada in these F3 cars. So much fun to drive. He's going to dive to the inside, hold the car on the inside. We give him the space, side by side, almost wheel touching as we get to the entry of the second apex. First complex here in Canada is a fantastic opportunity to battle, but even more battling is going to unfold as we're having to go slightly defensive, hold our line, so again Will can't send one up the inside here on lap 12. But what we are going to do, we're going to let him go up the inside here, and we're going to go for the switchback, and we're going to allow him to slide around a little bit while we position ourselves once again with that back straight in mind to try and slipstream back past him and get back into the race lead. You can see we're going to make him go defensive, lose momentum, lose a bit of time, and we're going to pick up an oh so critical exit out of chicane as we start the final sector here in Canada, coming down into the hairpin, making him go defensive one more time. We're going to hang it around the outside, hard on the brake, just trying not to lock up, slightly locking up the rears, and we hang it around the outside, and now in perfect position to slipstream back past him on the straight. You can see he's doing some micro movements there, just trying to position his car to the inside of the track, covering the inside line, leaving me no opportunity to take the easier route past, as we're going to go round the outside, drag racing down into the chicane, but able to outbrake him around the outside, pick up good momentum, and able to get back into the race lead as we're ending lap 12, going on to start lap 13. And as we're coming to the end of lap 13, Will was able to follow us extremely closely, and he's going to be in the slipstream. We're going to let him go down the inside here with the plan of action, getting the better exit out of chicane and able to pick up momentum and maybe overtake him back into turn 1. But Will is already thinking ahead of that. He's weaving down the straight, trying to break the slipstream, not giving us that opportunity to get around the inside or outside of him into turn 1 and turn 2. But in thinking too much about us, he goes deep, compromises the exit, and that gives us the chance to sort of do a switchback, avoid a bit of dirty air in the middle part of the corner phase, and allow us to stay a bit closer, as now we're coming through the first sector, ending the first sector as we touch the wall ever so slightly, and we are going to be all over the back of him. 2 attempts away, you can see his car sliding all over the place on traction, just trying to find as much grip as possible. Still 2.2 seconds ahead of Thomas, even with his battling and folding. We're not able to make Will go defensive here. We're not able to make him lose time. In fact, we lose time. We touch the grass, we lose momentum, we lose grip, we touch the wall again, and now he's going to be 3 attempts ahead of us, as we're going to be making our biggest mistake of the race so far, and we hit the wall so much harder than we did it earlier. Fortunately, we was able to get away with no damage, but now he is going to be 6 attempts ahead of us, 7 attempts, and we have to put the first sector of our race together here to close back in on the exit of corner 2. 6 attempts now. We must have closed an attempt there, minimum half attempt, as we're going in to the second chicane here. We pick up a good apex again, and Will hits the wall equally as hard as we did at the Wall of Champions, and we're back in his slipstream. 3 attempts away, hard on the brakes, rears locking, sliding around, and now we're coming towards the end of lap 16. Was able to follow him closely, and Will hits the chicane, hits the bumps again, and we're both sliding on the exit. And now going on to the second to last lap of this race, we're going to be deep in the slipstream. He's going to go defensive. We're going to look around the outside, try to do a tech-spit maneuver, and go clean around his outside, just about getting the car stopped, as now he's going to be doing a beautiful switchback on the exit phase of the corner, and that's going to allow him that chance to get back up or inside. We can't hang around the outside there, nor should we, and we go for a beautiful switchback. Will touches the wall one more time there, and we're able to get side by side, up is inside, and we break nice and early, because my plan here is again we're focusing on that back straight complex and getting the better exit. Will thinks ahead of that though, covers off the exit, and now we're basically pushing him down the straight, forcing defensive maneuvers one more time, and again going for that switchback of dreams down to second gear, get the engine power ready, slam the throttle, and now on the exit you can see he's already trying to break that slipstream, and we are just gonna send it up the inside here. He covers the inside marginally, but we think, why not? We send it, rears are locked, he leaves us the space, sliding around, looking for the traction, and now this is the closest we've ever been on the exit of the hairpin so far, and you can see he knows it. He's weaving right, left, right again, trying to break that slipstream as much as possible. Now holds the defensive maneuver line, and now we are around the outside, but it's going to be touch and go. Who's going to break the latest? And you can see Will goes later on the brakes. We pick up a beautifully executed exit though, and now Will is going to be learning from his previous mistakes. He doesn't go defensive, forces us to the inside line, and now we're on the compromised line on the inside. We brake early, we hold momentum, and now we're going around as outside of turn 2, picking up the traction on the rubbered line, car sliding this way and that, but now in the slipstream, forcing him defensive. He can't leave the inside open, and we know that. We go for the switchback, pick up a good exit from the second chicane, ending the first sector. We spot the gap down the inside, and now we're side by side going into the second sector split of this final lap of the race. Again, Will knows I'm going for those switchbacks, parks the car expertly in the middle of the road, and nothing we can do there, but we're going to force him defensive one more time, and you can see pinching him to the inside, and now looking to brake early, get that beautiful exit that we've always been talking about, what we're always looking for, and just trying to pick up the exit again. And now we're going to be forced to the outside line. Will is not going to let us go down the inside one more time, as you can see, side by side into the hairpin, and we're going to go for the switchback, something we haven't done before, threading the needle. Thomas is now caught up with all this battling, and it's going to be a three-way fight going down into the final chicane of the final lap. And this is going to be a final opportunity to win this race. We pull out from the slipstream around the outside. We touch wheels down the straight. Wheel banging. Thomas behind us looking to pick up from an opportunity. And we touch the grass slightly, locking up the front left, running wide. And we can't rejoin the track from there. Thomas was there, and we could not afford to have a crash with him. And basically, we got a slow down penalty from running wide. So this is why I slowed down so much on the run out of the final chicane. But what a race, what a victory for Will, and I enjoyed that race thoroughly. If you've enjoyed the video, think to subscribe, like the video, and catch you next time. Glad to see you, Ciao, ciao, bye bye.